we are here at Hollywood Smoke in the beautiful city of Santa Monica. I'm Steve Kim, joined by the editor-in-chief of Ring TV, Doug Fischer, and Montero on Boxing, Michael Montero. Guys, this week we will be at the Great Western Still Fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California. HBO presents once again the big drama show. Gennady Golovkin takes on Dominic Wade. Mike, in my Boxing News blog, I wrote that this is a no-win situation for Golovkin. Agree or disagree?
I disagree. I understand why you go there, but they're expecting over 16,000. I just asked Tom Loeffler yesterday, and he said that they're expecting a sellout crowd, one of the biggest crowds at the Forum since, I believe, the 70s for boxing. Right? So he's going to go in there and entertain the fans. They know what to expect. I think he'll probably pull a Monroe again, where he, will probably play around a little bit. I don't think there's any losing here because all 16,000 fans that are paying and buying a ticket, they're going there to watch Golovkin do what he does. But
wait a minute. I'm telling you, I could read Doug's mailbag on Friday. Doug, why is he fighting this bum? This guy's a 60-1 favorite.
It's a mandatory.
Yeah, I agree, but people do not understand that, or they want to just overlook it, Doug. You know there's a segment of fans.
Oh, yeah.
There's a louder chorus.
Yeah, Michael and I have both written about and talked about the Golovkin hate out there. And it'll grow as he grows. But he is growing, and that's why the fight does have some significance. Now, does it matter in terms of his rankings, pound for pound, or as a middleweight? No, most people look at him as the #1 middleweight. Doesn't matter who he fights, he can't advance in a divisional sense. What is he, like a 50-1, 100-1 favorite?
He's Buster
literally
Douglas 2.0. He is Dominic Wade.
Yeah. Right. So, he's not going to get any credit for beating Dominic Wade. If he knocks Dominic Wade out with one punch in the first minute of the first round, he will get no credit. He did what he was supposed to do. But I do agree with Michael in that there is significance for the big drama show to continue to gain momentum. If they sell out the Forum, Tom Loeffler can, whoever he takes Triple G to fight next, when he's at the negotiating table, Loeffler can say, listen, my guy sold out Madison Square Garden and the Fabulous Forum in Inglewood. On both coasts, this guy is a legitimate draw, one of the biggest draws in the country. He sold however many 100,000 bucks worth of merchandise at the Forum. Did over $300,000 worth of merchandise in Madison Square Garden last October against David Lemieux. Last October it was Apple Watch that sponsored him. Now it's Jordan Brand. So with each fight, there is momentum that's gained. No, he's not gaining momentum in terms of his stature within the sport, but he's gaining momentum in terms of his own brand and gaining more and more crossover appeal. Because every time he fights, more casual fans hear his name and take notice.
I was just going to add to that. That's going to help him get those big fights. Right now, he's big among boxing diehards, but he can't get those big pay-per-view fights because he doesn't bring enough to the table financially as he builds his brand.
And it helps with their negotiation. Exactly. At some point, they're going to sit down with Canelo and Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy, and they're going to say, okay, 90-10, does that sound fair, guys? And they're going to be like, whoa, hang on a second. We have fans. We do bring something to the table. That's, we're not just your average B-side.
No, they're not. Well, the other issue is with Golovkin, I mentioned this in my Boxing News blog, there's a lot of revisionist history as it relates to Hagler and Hopkins, two of my favorite middleweights. For all the De La Hoya, Trinidad, Duran, Tommy Hearns that they fought a lot of Wilfred Scipion, Caveman Lee, Bo James. Wait a minute. Hopkins fought Robert Allen three times. Could you imagine if Gennady fought a Robert Allen 3 times? There would be literally protests going on. And there seems to be this double standard. Why is there a rush or microwaving that Golovkin has to move up? I never heard that for Hopkins or Hagler during their runs at 160. Why?
You
have your theory. You have your theory.
I have a theory. I'll leave it alone. But watch my video, my Triple G hate
Montero
video.
on Boxing. Great channel, by the way.
Watch that. Hopkins, here's the thing that people don't think about as well. He did move up eventually, but those big fights that got him over the hump and made him a commercial star were against career welterweights, right? Oscar started as a lightweight. These guys that came up, You know, then Hopkins was a pay-per-view star once he got those wins. Then he moved up in weight.
Yeah, and same thing with Hagler.
Exactly.
Roberto Duran was the first star to fight him, and Roberto Duran was a great lightweight. Tommy Hearns started at welterweight. Sugar Ray Leonard started at welterweight. But these guys had names, and that helped Hagler explode into a mainstream star. Another thing is particularly with Hopkins, that road to unifying all of the major belts at middleweight, that earned him a place in history, and that also built up his own star power. And
Doug,
from there, you launch into bigger fights at higher weights.
Doug,
and that's
by the
exactly
way,
what Triple G's trying to do.
And that was a tournament set up by Don King. So there was a system in place. We went to all 3 stages of that back in 2001. Boy, time flies. Dominic Wade. We know that he's tall and he could punch with the right hand. What else do we know about him, guys?
That's it.
That's
He was
it.
a good amateur.
That's about it.
He was a decent amateur, yeah.
He had a decent amateur record.
Comes out of the
Headbangers Gym.
Yeah, but yeah, Washington D.C., you know, that area, the Beltway, Baltimore, Maryland area, and there's talent there. I think he's a talent. I mean, I look at him as a prospect. I don't look at him as a contender. Some people thought he lost his last fight against Sam Solomon. I mean, I think that was a good for him to go 10 rounds against a seasoned veteran like that Australian. I don't know if that's going to get him ready for what Triple G is going to bring.
Real quickly, Roman Gonzalez takes on McWilliams Arroyo. Michael, any shot of an upset or at least a competitive fight?
I do believe that will be the more competitive fight of the 2 fights. I think Chocolatito is fighting the more seasoned professional fighter, obviously. And I actually think it's going to be competitive in the early rounds. I think it's going to give him a push, but Chocolatito winds him down.
Yeah, Arroyo was a sensational amateur. He was an Olympian, Puerto Rican Olympian. I believe he was a world amateur champion. He's one of these guys who had like 200 amateur bouts at the elite international level. And he's been very solid as a pro. And in fact, he had a title shot against the guy, the IBF title holder from Thailand, in Thailand.
May have won that fight, by the
right,
way.
it was very close. I think he dropped a split decision in Thailand. So that tells you something.
All right, so there you have it. The Big Drama Show returns to the Forum this Saturday, April 23rd. On behalf of Doug Fischer and Michael Montero, this is Steve Kim saying till the next round, goodbye, everybody.